everybody. It's Rick. It is April the 2nd, 2018. My email is rick0327 at me.com. Okay. Right here we have a picture. I love this. We have a picture from a website, which, by the way, for some reason, it's a .gov website for knowing your rights, the United States Constitution, coming from the United States Attorney. Uh, and for some reason, I'm not allowed to save this to my favorites bar. I don't know why. But it's funny how they have the chemtrails in the background. All right, what they're doing there, they're just getting you guys ready to make uh, to getting you guys used to seeing these things because they're not good for your health. Uh, Chemtrails. All right, I could do a video on that easy, but I stick to the controversies that we are dealing with as victims to this child support scam. But I just thought it's hysterical how they have chemtrails in the background. Uh, you know, amazing. All right, I did a video on Saturday, and I probably touched a nerve on a couple of people. Nobody, nobody that I know of anyway. Because I got like 6 dislikes, which is a lot for me. And a couple of, right away, I got attacked by, not attacked, I should reword it, not attacked, a troll. And this is how, and it's important to get your information, uh, you know, from people that actually know what they're talking about, because there are a lot of channels that are trolls as well. Okay, got to be careful because for them to employ trolls to go around and trolling channels, such as myself and Amen and the Liquid Theory, Fifi, a whole bunch of us who are doing this, and for them, a bunch of other channels, like Mark Stevens and a bunch of other guys, for them to troll these channels and name calling and to distract you from the fact that it is very simple. I mean, you have these rights, all right, secured by the Constitution, and if everybody just woke up one day and you know when you employ an attorney and you just say, no, I want you to fight on my rights. That's it. I have these constitutional rights. I have these rights secured by the Constitution, and that's it. And the resistance you will get will be effing believable, because I am convinced that these attorneys are not allowed to argue constitutional principles in the courtroom. I'm convinced of it. Okay, because they won't do it. Okay, because the case would be over like that. All right, and lawyers cannot make money if cases are over like that. Okay, uh, so anyway, yeah, because what I was saying is that if everybody just started enforcing or inserting their rights, it would make their lives very difficult. Okay, because what happens is people put all their trust in these attorneys. A lot of people don't know what we know. All right, we know what we know because we were forced into this. All right, we figured out that there was something not right here. We were like, well, how did all this happen to us? Like myself, how did I go and let me tell you, for years I walked around poor, making sure that my ex-wife and my children were taken care of, because I used to employ the envelope system. The envelope system is like you take envelopes and you figure out every month what your bills are. So let's just say your car payment is $400 a month, but you get paid twice a month. So when you get paid, you take $200 and you put it in the envelope. That way, at the end of the month, you have $400. Two payments times 200 is $400. So, and then I figured out what my insurance was for 6 months, and every check I would put that money aside. So in my apartment, I would have hidden, a couple of $1,000 for, car insurance and uh, school tuition. And meanwhile, I'm walking around with a few dollars in my pocket because that's how disciplined I was to make sure that they were taken care of. All right, because back then I couldn't have a checking account, not because of child support, because I was broke. All right, I'm one of these guys that divorce destroyed me financially, and I had a job where I made very good money. But I made sure that my children were taken care of. I made sure I paid my bills. I met my divorce agreement. I did everything by the letter, and I still went to court, and I still got annihilated. And I knew something was wrong. And again, I knew my rights very well. And I mentioned in my video a couple of videos ago about these attorneys and them sneaking in a few words. Just a few words can destroy. Like with me, I made sure in my divorce agreement that we wouldn't. I made it clear I am not paying child support through child support agency, because I used to work with guys and I seen their lives destroyed. So I made it clear. And going in, my ex-wife was okay with it because I was already paying her all the time. She knew it wasn't an issue, so she didn't care. All right. But my attorney, they added in these words that uh, child support collections, payment through child support collections is waived at this time. Those at this time, those three words, okay, gave them, in their eyes, and I'm talking about family court judge, the fake judge, the her attorney, my attorney, with the child support later on in 2010. I got divorced in 2000, the beginning of 2005, and the agreement was struck in September 2004. So for a good 6 years, I never had a problem. It wasn't until my daughter went away to college, and we had in the agreement that any money I paid towards my daughter's room and board comes off the child support. Well, my ex-wife didn't like that. And so when I was giving her a check less the room and board for my daughter's very expensive college, she took me to court, and that's what started everything. And so those three little words at this time gave them, well, you only she waived that right at that time, and it was a nightmare. It was those three little words at this time, and they did it on purpose because I didn't know back then anything about what I know now. But knowing what I know now, anybody going through a divorce now, these agreements are made for child support to be paid through their child. Either if it's not, they want to grab you down the road like they did with me. Okay, their goal is to get you to pay through the child support services. Okay, now and that's all they are. It's a service. Okay, that's why they have a customer service number. But it's amazing how they walk that tightrope where they claim their services a based company, and then they'll say, yeah, but we're enforcing your divorce agreement. Either you're a service based company or not. You can't say, well, you're not. You're a service based company. The last time I checked, a credit card company cannot enforce a court agreement. But for some reason, when it comes to child support, they claim they can, and they get away with it because everybody's in on it. A judge will know it, but a judge won't tell them they cannot. Okay. So anyway, to get back to the services, I mentioned at the end of my last video on Saturday that I had a victory. Okay. Now, what this victory is, it'll also show you that child support is a service-based company. Okay, so let me get over here. Okay. All right, so I don't want to have to block out some personal information, but here we got a subscriber, Leo. Dear Leo, this letter is to let you know that on 3/22, the Child Support Agency terminated child support services and closed the child support case for the children below. Okay? All right? Child support services. So you can't. What can you do with the word services? That's all the other, a service-based company. And Leo went into court and told them that he did not agree to a contract, and I need to see it. So let's see what he said. Okay, Leo, I went to court, filed the paperwork you gave me, told them I wanted everything on record, demanded that they prove an injury in fact and proof of a contract, an undertaking, obligation agreement. Because what they do is they call you an obligor right away. You cannot be an obligor without an obligation agreement. So the attorney, this is what's great about getting the paperwork in. These attorneys are not used to this. They half the time they're not even given a warning. And this is like my third or fourth guy, that this has happened to. And it's great because the attorneys are caught, they're dumbstruck. The attorney didn't know what was going on. She said there was no injury. I asked her for a witness, beautiful, and asked her I signed the contract. The lady said no, and that's it. All right, and that's when they withdrew the case. Okay, so here's the email. Thank you. Got a dismissal. Okay. I went to court, filed paperwork. I told you that already. I just wanted to show you that it was a real email. I want to make sure that there are no haters out there claiming that I'm making this stuff up, because I am not. All right. All right. So let's get back to, where is it? Okay. Right. Jesus Lord, this thing's gigantic. All right, this is it. All right, so I'm gonna leave this in the description. This is very good because this is a .gov, by the way. So you can use this and cite from here your rights, and you could cut and paste from this. And citing a .gov is excellent. This is the government telling you you have these rights. You understand? Um, I was getting to a point earlier about the Constitution and with a troll. I was telling you how like some channels may be trolls. So right away in the comments section, this is why I screen my comments, because uh, by the time I got to looking at the comment, it could have been sitting in the comments section for a couple hours, and I don't want anybody to read it because it's wrong. It's a troll, and the troll wasn't nasty or anything, but she was claiming that well, in 1925, we, whatever, the Constitution doesn't work. Which is complete bullshit. What they're doing is they're giving you confusion. They don't want, by saying that, she's saying that so you will not use your constitutional rights in court because, well, why would you use them if she's telling you they haven't worked since 1925? Which is complete, utter bullshit because of some United Nations bullshit. Okay, excuse my language, but all right. So what they're doing is they're giving you doubt. Don't. Why would you use the Constitution if it hasn't worked since 1925? Listen, I understand that citing the Constitution does not mean in court they're going to say, "Yep, you got him." I understand that. One guy pointed out in the comments section, a guy who has a channel, and he pointed that out. Thank you. But I already know that, pal, and I'm not being a wise guy, but you still have to do it anyway. Okay. I'm not telling people to use the Constitution as a, all right, case dismissed. You have to get it on the record in case you're going to file an appeal down the road. Okay? An appeal is based on lawful arguments. So you cannot bring up on appeal that they violated your Fourth Amendment, Fifth, 14th Amendment if you didn't bring it up in the court earlier. You understand? That's not how the appeal court works. That's why you have to bring it up immediately. That's why in my paperwork, before you go to court, I have you guys asking for a change of venue into a court of record, right? I ask you, tell them you want a writ of discovery, you want discovery of evidence, you want a trial by jury, right? And, and a bunch of other things. To get it on the record that you asked for it. That way, down the road, if you have to file an appeal, the appeal court cannot pull out of their bag of tricks, that you didn't. Okay? That's the reason why I have you do it. Okay? I understand that the Constitution, citing the Constitution is not going to be, it's not a weapon. It's a protection. And I understand that the courts, they will disregard. Of course they disregard it. We wouldn't be doing this right now, if they, honored the Constitution. I get it. But what we're doing is we're cornering them to say, well, why are you not honoring the Constitution? Why is this? Why am I citing this Supreme Court decision? Why am I citing Article 6, Section 2, the Supremacy Clause? Why I'm doing all of these things to force the judge to honor the Constitution. Of course, it's right in their oath they're supposed to honor the Constitution, uphold and defend the Constitution. And they don't. They're gods. They do whatever the hell they want. All right? And I mean gods, I don't mean that literally, obviously. I mean it sarcastically, because they do whatever the hell they want. Well, we're going to force them not. All right? So I wanted to show you in the video a victory, also a victory that proves that the Child Support Agency is a service-based agency, which also means that it's commercial, and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act protects us from predatory debt collectors. All right, and they claim, well, child support is not a debt. It's not a commercial debt, which is a bunch of BS. It is. Okay, if somebody is paying money to a collection agency to collect a debt, it's a commercial debt. I mean, I'm just touching on that. I'm not going to get into it, but I'm just pointing it out to you. And the Child Support Agency themselves, in their letter to Leo that they're closing the case, is proof. All right, so I'm going to end the video. All right, I'm going to leave this in the description. It's good for you guys to keep. If you could save it somehow, just it's excellent, to use. Okay, look, up until 2010, right to keep and bear arms, McDonald versus Chicago. All right, 8 years ago. So to that troll claiming that the Constitution is not effective after the 1925 is not. She just proved that she or he. I mean, it was a she name. She just proved that she's a troll. Okay, they're all over the place. Okay, these trolls are everywhere, and they have channels too. Okay, we don't know who's real and who's not real. Okay, that's why I put my face in the video. Okay, I'm showing you people that I'm a real man. Okay, that I'm not a government agent as one other clown was claiming when I busted him over the summer of being a scam artist. And not only was he being a scam artist, but then he had the audacity to take pot shots at me instead of just leaving me alone. Okay, I wasn't bothering this guy, but I guess I was obstructing his business of scamming people, and then I got him to shut up. Okay, he doesn't bother me anymore. All right, but I'm not into this other channel. I'm not into bad mouthing other channels. If you listen to me, I don't mention channels' names. Okay, I don't do that. I just want to be left alone. Okay, but I had to tell you guys to be careful of where you're getting your information from. The one guy in the comments section that I was speaking about before, he said it perfectly. These are political arguments. Okay, about the 14th Amendment making you, a citizen and not a man. All the things I mentioned Saturday. He said it perfectly. It's a political argument. All right, and although it may be true, all right, politically, legally, it's not. Okay, and if it helps us, we use it. Okay, I just, there are people out there whose channels I watch and who are, against the 14th Amendment, and I'm sorry they feel that way, but I'm going to use it. Okay, if I can't think of any other way to get a state to to uh, to to stop making their laws because it helps them trap us by having these sham kangaroo court hearings without with a trial. Let me just show real fast what they say. Um, yeah, Seventh Amendment. The Seventh Amendment protects the right to a jury trial in most. This is because they're the government, so of course they're going to be leaning towards their political beliefs as well. All right, jury trial in most federal civil lawsuits, federal. Okay, but let's leave that alone because we're not interested in federal and say we're interested. See, in common law, there is no federal. Okay, but that's their belief. Okay, that's their religion. But whatever. Again, this helps us. So let's just leave that political argument alone. Uh, the right to a jury trial, and by the way, it's a trial by jury, not jury trial, was especially so. Even here in the government website, they're going to sneak in these little changes. You understand? We're interested in a trial by jury, not a jury trial. But you see how they snuck it in there. All right? Was especially important to the founders who felt unfair. This is perfect what we're doing. So just hang in there with me. All right? I'm going to close the video up. Just hang in there with me. Unfairly treated by the British government, which often forced colonists to be tried by a single military judge. You got me? A single fake judge, a single judge. You're never going to get a fair hearing in front of a judge or a fake judge whose job is to make sure that we pay child support the way they want us to, which benefits the state because the state's going to receive millions, if not billions of dollars by forcing us into slavery. Okay? So I'm just pointing this out here because that's the argument. The argument is we want a trial by jury because that's the only way we're going to get an impartial hearing. Okay? All right, guys. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.